This video is brought to you by Sailrite. If you're a sailor, you know that your sail is eventually going to need some repairs, and here at the Boltrope it is not uncommon for a sail to rip out.
Seams stick themselves and temporarily stuck it down.
We're going to repair this sail permanently with Dacron tape.
Okay, I come in and I clipped at the center of this so that I can angle it out, and I'm going to hem these. That way I have it will be angled up so that when we put this over the repair, we're away from this and we'll be able to tighten our rope up here.
If we didn't have to work our way around the slug hardware, we would just cut it like we do the other end.
All of this, so we're going to cut a little bit of it off here. And I'm also going to just hold this over so that it has a finished end on the edge of it. That way we can put that right up over there. Okay, first I'm going to zigzag through here, then we'll put this on, zigzag it down, and then we'll tighten our rope up and have a fix.
We'll be using the Sailrite Ultrafeed LSZ1 sewing machine. This is a straight stitch, zigzag sewing machine with a walking foot. If you can sew over top of the rip, it's always a good idea to do that prior to installing the patch. That's what we're doing here. Make sure you reverse at the beginning and reverse at the end of your stitches. We are going to reverse all the way back through this as well, just to secure it down even more. Deb now will stick double-sided tape to the edges of this patch assembly so we can hold it in place prior to sewing. However, we really should have done the hems or sewed the hems on the ends prior to installing the double-sided tape. So now Deb's going to sew the hems on the edges. The double-sided tape is already on the bottom side. But ignore that step. Do that step after this step is done. Deb does some reversing here at the beginning, and she'll do some reversing at the end as well to lock the stitch in place. Deb does some interesting reversing. She will usually try to find the neutral position and stay in the neutral position for her reversing. When I reverse the machine, I just usually go straight back and reverse for approximately an inch or less, and then back and forward again. But it looks pretty good the way Deb does it here. Alright, now you want to put the double-sided tape on the both ends and then peel off the transfer paper revealing the glue and baste it to the sail as we are now.
Here, just follow the edge of the tape. Put it over. Follow the edge of this tape.
Now that it's positioned in place and the double-sided tape is holding, we will feed the sail back in underneath the Ultrafeed LSZ sewing machine, and we'll sew a zigzag right down that edge of the Dacron tape. Be sure to reverse the beginning of your stitches and also at the end, as Deb is doing. As Deb sews this on, the cameraman, which is myself, was standing on the sail, which made it difficult to feed, and that's why the stitch went a little bit crooked. Whoops, I guess I shouldn't stand on the sail. In order to sew next to the bolt rope, we put in a roping zipper foot left. We position the needle to that right side, and now it'll sew as close to a hard object as possible. We do start sewing here on top of the spur grommet behind the foot. It's actually the foot is resting on top of the spur grommet. That makes it awfully difficult for the sewing machine to feed, so we have to walk it over that. Okay, once we get the foot off of the spur grommet in the back, notice how Deb keeps her finger up against the bolt rope to push it up against the foot. Then here she'll do some reversing again to lock that stitch in place. That's it. That's all that's required to fix a rip beside a bolt rope. As we mentioned previously, repairs to sails happen almost all the time, so it's a good idea to have the supplies and the know-how to fix it yourself.
So now you have real nice tape. All the edges are finished. Your rope is nice and tight. Repair done.
Order your supplies and the Sailrite Ultra Feed sewing machine at Sailrite today. I'm Eric Grant. Thanks for watching this video.